here we are, right down in the depths of Best's, and we're surrounded by these fantastic old casks. Tell us about Best's and Shiraz.
Yes, Ken. Well, yeah, it's certainly a place synonymous with Shiraz and has been for over 140 years.
We were saying there's a school of thought that has this as the longest continuous release of a fine wine in Australia.
Yes, that's what we believe, and we haven't,
no one's
confirmed that yet. Yeah.
No.
So, but it is really interesting, and it's been the same vineyards have been operating in the same way for a long time in this part of the world. And I guess when you taste through our wines, the thing that you see is when you get to Shiraz, you go, wow.
Do you have any idea when the first Binot was?
Well, we're not 100% certain, but we certainly have it written in the diaries back around the early 1900s. So it's certainly been around for a long time, and it's
100 years
exactly
at least.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the latest release. It's a pre-release of the 09 Binot Shiraz, and I think it's the first thing I smelt was spice, and I think that's pretty prevalent. But having said that, there's certainly some flesh and some weight. So it's a generous version of the
It is.
Binot.
It's all. I mean, it's not that sort of cuddly broth or anything like that, but there is full flavour. There's plenty of weight. Lots of that spice.
Now, one of the things that you spied while we were walking down the stairs was the museum.
Funny about that.
And we've been lucky enough to reach into the museum and pull out something to have a point of reference for this wine, Ken. So
before we do, the one thing about my experience is that these are not more austere, but perhaps a more fine-bodied, normally more leaner sort of style than this particular vintage. This is quite, as you say, generous. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, it is. It's generous, but I think we've our style's evolved in the last few years, and we're certainly looking for balance, but we're also looking for finesse. And I think going back and hand picking and hand sorting and making sure we're doing everything we can in the winery has really benefited quality-wise.
And for such what was a warm year, there's still so much freshness and there's that almost bright, vibrant acidity character coming through. It's terrific.
So yes, this is comes again from the Binot. Comes from those 4 vineyards, and they are all from around the winery. The soil type here is slightly different from where our other vineyard is in Rimini. So this is all on granite and has an ancient sort of riverbed that lays around here. But they all 4 different components sort of contribute their own bits and pieces to Binot. So yeah, fine spice, regional, still vibrant on the palate, and I think that warmth when it hits the palate it really sort of makes it lift.
When you smell it, I wasn't 100%. I mean, you're thinking, hang on, but when you actually taste the wine on the palate, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm suspecting that whatever character's coming out now, that'll blow off.
Yes, exactly.
Because the palate itself is just gorgeous.
We see that time and time again with the wines down here, and you do need to give them sort of the benefit of the doubt in the first 5 minutes just to see what comes, and particularly when they're really cold too. You're sort of smelling the remnants of the old bottles, and then before you know it, you're back in the game.
Welcome back. We're inside the cellar door now. This is about 100 years old?
Yeah, it's an old stable, back from the 1890s. So it got moved piece by piece to this. This was originally somewhere else in the property and brought back here and numbered and reassembled. So it now forms our cellar door.
One of the things you sell in cellar door is, of course, your famous sparkling Shiraz.
That's true, sparkling Shiraz.
Segue?
Yeah, good segue. Well done. No, sparkling Shiraz is kind of a recent phenomena here. We started making it in 2006, although it has been made in the past.
Yep.
But it's really, for me, coming here and understanding Great Western, it's something that the region's known for, and I think it's something that is, particularly Australian, and so I felt that it was something that we needed to get back into.
That sort of black cherry fruitcake, that silky character and lots of spice. Yeah.
Again, florals and spice, and that's from the 09 vintage, just recently disgorged. So we certainly want it to be more medium bodied, and we try to find the right vineyards that suit that style.
It's got sweetness in it, but it doesn't finish cloying or sweet or anything that way. It just sort of balances out nicely by the finish.
Yeah, dryness is something that we consider, medium bodied and dry. We think it is certainly the way forward for us, and as we understand the vineyards better and understand evolve the style, we're going to go more and more that way. So there's about 19, 20 grams of sugar, which, probably normal sparkling Shiraz is up around 30. So
you notice it, but by the finish, it's just dried itself right out.
Yeah.
But not in a negative way.
Exactly. And I guess the thing that I like to see in this wine is the freshness, like looking for something with real freshness and brightness and other than
You'd
that.
be looking also for that to age fairly well.
Yeah, I think longevity and Shiraz is synonymous around here, and I can't see why this would be any different.
I rather enjoyed that.
Excellent.
Adam, thank you so much for coming on Spitbucket.
Thank you, Ken.
It's been a great pleasure visiting Best's, having a look. It's just, you hear about the history of the place, but when you actually get here, I mean, it's worth anyone who's interested coming down and having a look at this place, because it just reeks of history. It's fantastic, and good wine. So,
very good. Well, thanks for coming along, and everyone's welcome to Great Western.
Cheers. Remember, we spit so you don't have to.
Cheers.